What up? This is TOMBOi, aka TOMBOi857. I'm here to talk about my demo mixtape, Homemade Bread and Cheese Whiz. Now, a lot of you people are probably wondering where the hell I got this title from. Where in my crazy ass mind I thought about this. And for me, it's sort of a metaphor. Now, as we all know, bread and cheese are slang for money. Now, before I even go on with this explanation, I'm gonna say I made no profit off of this demo mixtape. I'm gonna say that right now. Made no profit. I did not sell it for any type of money, no amount whatsoever. Nothing came back to me. This is all free shit. This is just shit I want to put out to get myself somewhere. It's not about the money right now. If it were to be about the money, I'd be signed already. You know what I mean? Because record labels, they care about who sells. I mean, someone told me this. By a piece of advice. If you can prove to someone you can sell, of course they're gonna sign you. But for me right now, it's not about the money. It's about me showing my skills. But now that I said that, I'm going on to my explanation. Homemade bread was a way of saying, obviously, like I said, I made no profit. So if I wanted to, I could make money at home with this shit. With my shit, I can make money at home. And Cheese Whiz was my way of saying I could be a genius at making this money. I can be a genius at making this money. So, Homemade Bread and Cheese Whiz. I'm a fucking genius at getting money at home. But like I said, I got no profit on this whatsoever. It's just my way of saying I could if I wanted to. But of course, this was my first demo mixtape I made, so I kind of fucked around with it a little bit. It wasn't completely serious to me, but it wasn't completely bullshit to me. This did mean something to me, but at the same time, when you start recording for the first time, it kind of feels weird. Because it's almost like, wow, my voice sounds funny, or shit like that. When you first record, it's not exactly what you expected it to be, so in a way, it was like an experiment. You're experimenting with your voice, you're experimenting with your sound, you're trying to figure out where your voice should be at, where your flow should be at, shit like that. So, obviously, this first demo, it has some flaws. It definitely shows I have room for improvement, but you know, it's still meant for me to do something, and it's funny, because at first, I told myself I did not want to be one of those rappers who released a million mixtapes trying to get famous. I told myself I did not want to put out any mixtapes at all. I told myself it wasn't my thing. Wasn't my thing at all. I just wasn't going to do it. But on one of my other channels, I have a channel where I talk about LGBT issues, which, in case any of you don't know what that means, it means lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered / transsexual. And a lot of people, you know, they obviously rap and gay don't mix. But I'm not going to come up pretending I'm not somebody who I really am. I am going to come out just the way I am. I'm not going to deny shit. So yeah, I have a YouTube channel about gay issues. Whoever out there listens to rap and is homophobic, you can get over that. Because I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me. I'm not going to do anyone else. I'm not going to stay in the closet and pretend I'm someone I'm not. So, you know, I have a channel about gay issues, and I made a video basically doing my own version of Changes by Tupac. And of course the lyrics were fit to the lifestyle of a gay person. Now, that ended up getting good responses. So I started listening to the song, and I'm like, you know, it would be fun if I could do some other songs. And I started doing some other stuff. I did a version of Love the Way You Lie. And eventually it just ended up being this thing where I was just so hooked on making other versions, making new versions of other songs by other people, obviously, not my own. But it inspired me. And I told myself, you know, maybe I should look at this mixtape thing in another light. Because the reason why I told myself I did not want to do mixtapes is because I told myself if I do a mixtape, I'm setting myself up. I am going to destroy myself. Because the way I saw it was, what if I ended up making a mixtape and this shit was so fucking bomb, this shit was so bomb, that it ended up getting me signed. But then when I get signed, I don't have that bomb shit like I did on the mixtape. And that's setting my fucking self up. Now, after I made that song, I started looking at it in a different light. Maybe if I make a mixtape, I'm not destroying myself, but I'm showing people what I got. Because honestly, ever since I started this whole mixtape thing, my overall status as a rapper has improved. My flow sounds better, my writing skills have gotten better, my rhyming scheme's gotten better. Now, of course, you can't tell from this first mixtape because obviously that's my start. You can't tell where I've improved from by just listening to my start. But, you know, I've already recorded my second demo. It's already been out and around. People have told me it's way, way better than Homemade Bread and Cheese Whiz. A lot of people compare the first one to the second one. They tell me, yo, this shit is so much better. Because they tell me, like, my overall, like I said, my overall ways of a rapper have improved. My rhyming scheme, lyrical skills, all that good shit. All that shit has improved because of this whole mixtape thing. So, whether it's in the mixtapes or outside the mixtapes, I've been improving, which is what I want. I didn't want to put all my good shit on a mixtape and then set myself up for when I get signed. That's not what I wanted. Because a lot of people, like Drake for example, when he came out with his mixtape So Far Gone, people claimed that shit is a fucking classic. Then when he came out with Thank Me Later, a lot of people were like, yo, this is not what you came out to do. This is not as great. But of course, there's a lot of people who love it, and that overpowers what the haters say. Me, personally, I love Drake. I think he, in ways, have improved, in ways that his mixtapes are better. But shit, it's called diversity, you know what I mean? But anyway, I don't want people saying, oh, TOMBOi brought it on a mixtape but not on an album. So I'm glad it helps me improve. Now, I have to talk about my highlights on Homemade Bread and Cheese Whiz. Now, my highlights for me were the covers and remakes I made of Successful, Sky's the Limit, Heartless, Changes, Let Me Love You, Dear Mama, Do You Think About Me, I Love the Way You Lie, and Runnin'. Now, the reason why those are my highlights, I think those are the ones I put the most heart in. Not necessarily effort or emotion, but just heart. Because I think those were the songs, well, not necessarily Let Me Love You, but all the other songs, I was serious about those. I mean, not really Do You Think About Me either. Do You Think About Me and Let Me Love You had the most heart without being too serious, I think. But anyway, so this demo mixtape was actually fairly easy for me to make. I barely got any writer's block, and there was only a couple of songs I constantly had screw-ups with that I had to keep recording, but of course, I always have room for improvement, and, you know, shit, everyone has room for improvement, but, of course, like I said, this first demo was like an experiment. I'm trying to find my voice and all that shit, but you know, when I release this second demo mixtape on YouTube, because like I said, it's already been around, it's just not on YouTube, I'll show you guys that, you know, this rap thing for me, it's more than an experiment.